Hi all, back out again, in the mobile office. This is my first time out of the house in 4 weeks. For those who watched the previous video, I went to neurology because I was having a relapse. Still having a little tiny bit of the side effects of that. But as I said in the previous video, the neurology department put me on steroids for 5 days. Quite a high dosage of tablets, which was amazing. Last time I had steroids, it was intravenous, but now it was tablet form, which was a surprise. Taking the steroids for 5 days, you have to isolate because your body becomes instantly vulnerable to infections and basically anything in the air. So I had to be quite isolated from that. And then for 3 weeks after you finish the course, you have to isolate. My isolation finishes tomorrow, but it's just like I've been staring at four walls for 4 weeks. I just needed to get out on my own. There's nobody else in the car here. I went and grabbed a coffee, pulled up on the side of the road, started to record a video, and then realised the road that I was actually parked on was really quite busy. So I have moved up to on the hills at the moment, just outside of Bristol, overlooking Bristol. I'll show you a bit of footage I shot a couple of minutes ago, and it's a lovely bluish, cloudy day, but there is quite a lot of blue sky and the sun's shining, so hence the shades. So I thought, no, I just need to get out and go for a drive. And while I was out and about, I thought I'd pull over and shoot a little bit of an update for you guys. As I said, been isolating for the last 4 weeks. I have been able to work from home. Big thanks to my boss and the team for being really supportive. Going back to the relapse, my eyesight, which I was worried I was going to have another dose of optical neuritis, my left eye really got quite blurry and lots of blind spots all over it, and it was getting worse. That has cleared a lot. It's not perfect, far from it. There is definitely more, how can I describe it? It's more blurry spots over the surface. Where if I just close my right eye and look out of it, it is kind of directly in my line of sight. I'm looking at a tree at the moment in the distance, and looking through my left eye, that tree is just blurry and out of focus. But if I look ever so slightly to the left or right of it, the tree comes back, but the object I'm now looking at has gone blurry. So the right eye is doing a lot of compensation. Thankfully, the eyesight didn't get as bad and it has cleared, but as I said, there is a little bit of damage left on it, or I've just not given it enough time to continue repairing itself. Right, that was the steroids. So I finished those 3 weeks ago. I did have a few side effects, but all compared, the steroids have done what they're meant to have done, and you just have to put up with the side effects. For me, it was a rumbly tummy, and I got a lot of tummy to rumble, must admit. But I did get a lot of flatulence, or as we call it in English, farting. So that wasn't so great. I had to isolate from most of my family because my wife is a nurse and she's obviously with her patients. She did speak to her manager, and I believe that she was kept away from the more infectious patients she has on her ward. My eldest, she just kept well away from me. My youngest daughter, she's doing university work at the moment, and she had to go to the office where I work, and I had no choice. But when she's at uni, she does still wear a face mask and things. Although that is optional, she still does. So big thanks to her. Yes, as I said, my left leg is back to as it was pre-relapse almost. It's still kind of dragging a little bit, but my motion in that leg is, I would say, back to what it was like before the relapse. And I've just noticed I need a shave. Hoping to go back to the office on Tuesday. I've got the day off on Monday. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just seeing my work colleagues. The office I work in is only a very small company. It's only 7 employees. But as I said, a big thanks to my boss because he's been really supportive. Well, the whole team, as I said, have been really supportive. So I'm not sure if that is supportive out of they're interested in how MS is working and what it does to me, or it's really supportive. Oh, Matt, you're having a bad time with things. Will help, or I don't know, but they were really helpful. I just noticed my camera's just swiggled around a bit. There we go. Recording this on my mobile, so hopefully it won't put that stupid border down the sides that it does with other videos. So that was the steroids. The neurology want to take me off of my Abagio, which I've been on for just over a year now. I had an MRI scan. Goodness me, April I think it was, and that showed an increase of scarring around my spinal column at the top, around here, sort of thing, and around here on the brain. Again, it's all on the right side, so that might explain why my left side of my body is doing some funky things. So they're going to take me off the Abagio. I've got another 2 weeks worth of the drug left in the pack, and I've said to the neurology I don't want to really waste those tablets. It's just not fair on other people that had the story of you don't have to worry about that thing, but I'm quite conscious that I don't want to waste an expensive drug. So I've got 2 weeks worth left on that now. I refill my Dosset box. I have a Dosset box to keep all my drugs in for a week. So I just sort of prep them all up and get them into these little boxes, and then all I've got to do is just sort of work from the box. It's a great way of remembering if I've taken the pills or not, and yes, I have forgotten a few times. But yeah, the Dosset box really helped. Anyway, go back to the Abagio. They're going to take me off of the Abagio and move me on to a injection type drug called Kenseptia. I'll pop up on the screen either here or over here or down here somewhere with its proper name so you can see what it is they put me over onto. That is a once a month injection. It's a small little subcutaneous injection. Apparently it comes with an injector kit and everything else to make life really quite easy. Strangely, my wife is looking forward to me going back onto the injections. She wants to practice. So yeah, my wife is coming to me with a sharp thing. How do I feel about that? Quite nervous, actually. Seriously, quite nervous. I used to be on a drug, Rebif, years ago, and I was on that for, I don't know, 7-8 years or something. I can't remember how long. There's a few old years, and it came with this injector, an auto injector, which I stopped using in the end because I was finding it was leaving bruises. So I used to manually inject myself. Take the syringe, take it out of the fridge for about an hour beforehand, inject it. And I used to do that just before I go to bed because it used to give you the side effects was like a flu-like feeling and a headache. Paracetamol, for those who are actually on it, does work quite well. But as I said, I used to take that last thing at night, and that was 3 injections a week. So I'm not nervous about injecting. I've got no fears of needles and things. What else has happened? I had to go for screening for the drug, for this new drug, which they took bloods, blood pressure, and blood oxygen and things like that. Interesting, they took a lot of blood. I can't remember. I think it was 9 bottles that they took. Those, yeah, the little, I can't remember what they're called. Yeah, the little tiny tubes that they put a butterfly into your arm and attach the bottle to the thing. It's got a slight vacuum on, so it pulls the blood out. There was 9 of those. There's red ones, orange ones, or gold-coloured ones, I think they call them, and green. They took quite a lot of blood, which they sent away for the labs and things. There is also a very good reason, or I'm glad they took so much blood, but I'll come on to that in a little while. Okay, my usual problem with giving blood. The phlebotomist at Southmead that does my blood, she is absolutely God with a needle, as it were. She's one of the only people that get blood out first time. Although her and the MS nurse were struggling for me to get blood, or for me to give blood, but yeah, in the end they got the spot, as they say. So that's all done. My wife had to drive me to the hospital because I couldn't drive, because my legs were not feeling particularly well. So she waited in the car while I went and had the stuff done. I must admit, the walk from basically the consultation room, the walk from there to the car park isn't that far. It's probably 150 meters, maybe 200 meters tops. But when I got back to the car, I was absolutely stuffed, just because my walking was so bad. It really was bad. But yeah, that was all done, dusted. The only downside is I was told about a procedure that they need to do, because the Abaggio can take, if you just left it, stop taking it, it apparently takes 2 years before the levels drop off in your body naturally, which is 2 years too long for them. So they've got to draw the drug out. And how they do that is with the old faithful charcoal. I have to go on a 12-day course of consuming charcoal to draw the drug out. Apparently, the drug molecules or whatever it is in your blood attaches to the charcoal, and when the charcoal comes out of your body, the drug is attached to it, kind of thing. But I've got to go for a 12-day course of that, which I'm looking forward to, I must admit. Interesting though, again, the options were, it's either a liquid that you've got to drink or it's in tablet form, and that is completely down to what neurology or the neurologist sends off as a prescription to the drugs company. I'm just thinking, how much have I actually upset my neurologist, and how much revenge does he want on me? So watch this space on that one. What else is going on? So yeah, I've got to do a 12-day course of that, and then for the first 4 weeks of taking this new drug, you have to inject. Let's say on a Friday, you have to inject on the Friday on the first week. The second week, you miss the third week, and then you have to inject on week 4, and then you leave it for a month, and then you start 1 month later on, say, the Friday again, and that's your once a month kind of injection. So of course I'll let you guys know how that goes. What else is going on? I've been feeling a bit under the weather with the old the heart as well. I think I might have mentioned in videos back in the history that I do suffer from AF every now and then, which is just rapid heart beating. But I did notice just before my relapse, well, about the same time as my relapse started, it must have been within a day or two of the relapse kicking in, I started noticing that I could feel my heart was beating wrong. And I used to check my pulse up here, and it was going ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. That sort of unregular rhythm. I kind of went through the relapse and the steroids and sort of stuff, just ignoring it. And I found if I burped, or we call it in England belch, a few times, then my heart would go back to normal. I did phone the GP, and I did have an appointment booked for the 20, basically this coming Wednesday. But I felt so bad on uh, Friday last week. I called the surgery and said, look, I'm not feeling very well, particularly. They wanted to see me, and I said I'm still self-isolating because of the steroids. And I was absolutely impressed with my GP. I got an appointment. I had to go down to the surgery. When I arrived in the car park, I had to phone them to tell them I was in the car park, and then the doctor would phone me and say, we're clear for you to come in now. And they opened the rear fire exit for me, and I sort of the longest walk ever with a Zimmer frame. I was using actually a frame, not a wheelie walker kind of thing. I was using a Zimmer frame, and I went in through the back door into the surgery. I knew they wanted to do an ECG, so loose clothes and a pair of jogging bottoms. Hello, no, natives. So, ramblers. So as I was saying, he had to sort of go through the side entrance of the doctor's surgery into her room with a pair of jogging trousers on, a loose t-shirt, and no shoes but socks. I left my compression tights off as well, so I know they needed to get to my feet. So I went and saw the doctor, had a blood pressure test done, and she said that was fine. My pulse was irregular, but was okay. She wanted to do an ECG, so I had to hobble around to one of the nurses' stations and have an ECG there. That was fun and funny. Now I'm 6'2" and a bit, and the bed you have to lie on for them to do the ECG was about 5'2". So needless to say, my legs were dangling off the edge of this bed, and in the end, to help them, they had to get one of the chairs in the room and put them underneath my feet, so my feet were sort of level, so they could do testing. The poor nurse was apologising so much because the bed was so short. But anyway, usual thing with me, my body and those little sticky pads they put on to measure your heart, we don't get on. And every time I've ever had those done to me, they fall off quite easily. And last Friday was no exception. In the end, they had to put the pads on and then tape them on with micropore tape. That's sort of like, I call it masking tape for patients. And they did the ECG and sent those back to the doctor and confirmed they were what she was after. And then the nurse and her assistant, and I mean this nicely, they absolutely enjoyed ripping the masking tape with this micropore off my chest, bringing hair and everything with it. And how you ladies go for waxing, I have no idea. That was absolutely pain. It was just unimaginable. They're just peeling these things off. And she kept saying to me, she said, I'm sorry to do this, but I'm going to enjoy it. Stand by. 3, 2, and she pulled it before you get to 1. So I shouldn't laugh, but that's how I am with these things. It was just quite funny. Had to go back to the GP's office, and when she said, "Oh, it's not what I thought it was," she thought it was a form of AF I was having, and she wanted to send the results to the heart specialists in, I think they're at the Royal Bristol Royal Infirmary, where the heart unit is. And I then spent Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday panicking. I don't normally panic, but I was getting quite concerned that I'd not heard anything. I kept trying to tell myself that because I've not heard anything, it can't be bad. And anyway, Thursday she phoned me at 8 o'clock, which I thought, oh my goodness, this is early. What's she going to tell me? And she was really quite sweet and pleasant. I've got something, I can't remember what she called it. It's like it's my heart is still like in AF, but it's in the lower part of my heart, and it's just beating on irregularly but slow. And she did say to me at the time, so I've got some medication for my heart if I do go into AF. And I said to her, look, I thought about it and I thought, well, hang on a second, my heart doesn't feel quite right to be in AF, not the fast stuff. And she said, yeah, in hindsight, you actually did the absolute correct thing by not taking that drug because it would have slowed my heart down, which was slow anyway. So we are trying a very small dose of beta blockers at the moment, and they are working. Every now and then the heart does its own little trembly thing, but genuinely the last couple of days I've been taking the beta blockers. I can feel it. It feels normal. So yeah, I think hopefully these beta blockers will work. Maybe have to increase the dosage, maybe not. I've got basically a month's supply of them, and she wants me to. I've got an appointment in my diary for this Thursday, which is not the original appointment day. This is another one. And I don't quite know what I'm going to go there for. I just got to turn up in the doctor's surgery. So maybe, possibly another ECG. See how things are settling. Don't know. We'll find out on Thursday. As I said, I'm hoping to go back to work Tuesday, so I've not been in the office for quite a while. And coming out for a drive today, like I said, I just needed to get away and just come out for a drive and enjoy the sun for 5 or 10 minutes. It was quite useful because I drove some of the route I come to work, and there's roadworks on there, so at least I'm aware of that, and I can go the other way on Tuesday, miss them. So what else is going on in my life? I celebrated this month my 30th wedding anniversary. Both my wife and I had forgotten that day until 2 days after the event. So I was working away and I just suddenly realised today, and I said, hey, did you know we've been married for 30 years 2 days ago? And my good lady said, no, I forgot about that as well. So, yeah, bad both of us. But yeah, I've been married for 30 years now. So that has literally flown by really, really quick. The other thing that's the only thing that's annoyed me this week, I was reading on our sorry, I'm watching a very big bumblebee landing on some wild garlic right next to the car. Unfortunately, wouldn't, if I showed you, it's the wind's blowing the plant around too much to sort of let the camera focus on it. It would struggle. Shame, because that is one big bee. No, one thing that has annoyed me this week, I'm really quite angry about, is on the BBC News, there was an item in there which, just trying to think of the journalist's name. He's a disabled gentleman, and he was stuck on an aircraft at Heathrow Airport that had flown in from Lithuania because there was nobody available to get his wheelchair from the hold and bring it into the aircraft so he could I'm just trying to think what the word is. So he could alight from the airplane. There you go. It's the day of the word light. First time I heard that was on London Underground. Anyway, they couldn't. There was no staff available to get his wheelchair for him, and he was left on the aircraft all on his own. The staff had disembarked anywhere, which is amazing, as I thought the last thing they would do is walk the length of the plane to make sure everybody was off and there was nothing left on the aircraft. But totally wrong. But no, they just abandoned him. and he was sat there for quite a while waiting for his wheelchair. And it was when the captain of the next flight that were going to use that airplane boarded with the staff to get the aircraft ready. He found the journalist there waiting for his chair, and bless him, and big kudos to the captain that's in the article. He wasn't named, otherwise I would tell you his name here, but he actually took it upon himself to get the chair and get it all organised and get the gentleman off the aircraft. And that kind of, to me, is some of the sad part of my MS, is I know that I want to go on holiday with my good lady or my mate and we'll go back to the States or something. I just can't do it. One, I wouldn't be able to walk through the airport because my walking's so crap. I know you can now get assistance with that, so yeah, okay on that one. But it's the fear of my walker, or what to say, my Zimmer frame or whatever I take with me, goes missing on the flight, or it doesn't get to the other side of where I'm going, or something like that. And that's just a risk I just do not want to take. The other thing is, obviously, with MS, you do get the occasional bladder problem. And for me, it's like I get probably about 10 minutes warning that I need to go for a wee. And could I actually make it down the gangway of an aircraft, which is in flight moving, and maybe a little bit bumpy, not that bumpy, but walk along the narrow walkway? I wouldn't be able to use my Zimmer frame because it's too wide. It wouldn't go down the aisle. And I would have to sort of walk along holding everybody's headrests as you walk down through. Yeah, I just don't think I could do it, which is a limitation because, like I said, I'd love to go on holiday with my good lady for once. Although, I will say, and I do mean this profusely, just in case my better half might actually watch this video one day, who knows, I do actually enjoy arranging holidays for her, because I know she's a foreign lady. She's come to the UK and she's now got options to go places that she would never have had when she was at home. But, I just enjoy getting the holidays ready for her. She's off on Tuesday. I've arranged it was Christmas, it was a surprise. I've arranged for her to go to the Chelsea Flower Show. She's watched it on TV all the time we've been married, so that's 30 years. And she's always wanted to go, and we've never been in a position to sort of arrange it or things. And I thought, this year, sod it, I'm going to sign her up for a year's membership to the RHS, and I'm going to arrange her tickets to go to the Chelsea Flower Show. So that's where she's off to on Tuesday. You never know, I might actually put some pictures, if she takes some nice photographs. I might put some pictures on my next video so you can see what it was like. But yeah, that's just something I've always wanted to do for the girl, and she's going to go and do it. So it's a once in a lifetime for her for that. What else? COVID levels are starting to drop off in the UK. They're not gone. People are still catching COVID, and me personally, if I go anywhere, if I go to hospitals or anything like that, it's compulsory. You got to wear a face mask. Totally agree with that. And I still wear a face mask if I'm going out anywhere. But like I said at the start of the video, not been anywhere for the last 4 weeks. So that's still on the go at the moment. There are people still getting in COVID, and obviously with the steroids and being at high risk of just watch me talking to my phone. Being a high risk of infection, I've just been uber careful. What else? We've also got this new infection going around called monkeypox, I think it's called, which started off with one person in London, and then there were 2, and now suddenly there are 20. It's not so contagious as COVID, and it's passed by skin contact. So hopefully Public Health England will get on top of that quite quickly. There's rumours that I have to have another booster jab for the COVID in August. That'll tie nicely with my yearly flu vaccination. So watch that space on this one. What else? As I said, my leg is getting more movable again, so I get up and I go to the bathroom and I go and have a shower myself. I try and do as much as I can, but my better half has had to help me put my compression tights on a couple of times, just because I couldn't move my leg into the position. I couldn't get up on the bed to put the sort of tights on or anything like that. So bless her, she's had to assist. What else? So the MS is, for me, it's limiting. And like I said, I want to go on holiday. I want to go back to the States. I've got unfinished business there, as it were. I've got another 12 states to visit, and I've done all of them then. And I would like to finish those off, but yeah, I think that's going to be a dim and distant part. So to recap then, the relapse is becoming manageable now. It feels like it's fading. Yes, there's some damage left over from it, especially the eye, maybe a little bit of motion in my leg, but that's certainly improving. Moving on to a different drug, the extraction of the drug. Okay, weird one. Video recording has just been interrupted because apparently the camera got too hot. Go figure. I've turned the car back on and I've got the AC running, and I'm just to cool the car down and inside. And I've discovered one lovely feature of this car, which is you can either heat the seats or cool them. So at the moment my rear end is getting cool. It's kind of comfortable, really. Anyway, I will stop doing this video, give the thing a chance to cool down properly. Thanks for stopping by and watching again, and stay safe, stay well, look after yourselves, and please drop comments into the comments below. Ask me questions, or if you want to know anything, if there's things that I could do better. I know the videos are not great. Is there anything you want me to discuss? Is there anything you want to ask me? Knock yourselves out, ask the questions. And thanks to my 1 or 2 regular viewers. Sorry to put you through all this pain. Catch you next time. Bye bye.